Hello students, in this video let us discuss the electronic effects. The first one is the inductive effect, and in last video I have completed the basic idea about the reaction intermediates and the types of reagents, electrophiles and nucleophiles. Now here the electronic effects plays a very important role in understanding organic chemistry, in a study of the organic chemistry. Okay. So to explain the various things, these electronic effects will be applicable. Okay. So here generally what are the electronic effects? Electronic effects explain the displacement of electron in molecule. That means here explain polarization of bonds, polarization of the bonds. Okay. Explain the polarization of the chemical bond in an organic molecule. Okay. So here to explain the polarization of the molecule, so there are the different types of electronic effects. First one is the inductive effect. And second one is resonance effect or mesomeric effect. And next third one is hyperconjugation effect. Okay. This hyperconjugation and inductive effect, resonance effect, these are the permanent effects. That means here these effects cause the polarization of the molecule in a polarization of the molecule always. Okay. So it's not a temporary effect. That means here next there is a one temporary effect, that is the electromeric effect. This is a temporary effect. Okay. So they are the permanent effects in a molecule, and this is the temporary effect. So first of all, let us discuss the inductive effect, next resonance and hyperconjugation. After completion of the all electronic effects, then we will discuss the applications. That means the stability of the carbocation, stability of the carbanion, radical, acidic nature, basic nature, all those things. Okay. So first of all, let us start with the inductive effect. Okay. So here, see this one. Inductive effect. Yeah. You see this in this case, here carbon, that means here like CH3. Okay. In a ethane molecule, CH3. This is a non-polar molecule, no polarization of the bonds. That means here this carbon same electronegativity. Here carbon carries no charge, here carbon carries no charge, because of the similar electronegativity. Okay. So this is a non-polar molecule. Now here, whenever one different atom is attached, okay, for suppose this is a fluorine, and here we know this, here hydrogen is a non-polar bond. This hydrogen is a non-polar bond. A fluorine is a non-polar bond. That means here F2 molecule, H2 molecule. First suppose here HF is a polar molecule. Here in this case there is an electronegative difference, so these bonding electrons are moving towards more electronegative atoms. As a result, the negative charge around the fluorine increases, your positive charge around the hydrogen increases. So the moment of the sigma bonding electrons towards the more electronegative atom, that causes the polarization of the molecule. That means here there is a positive pole, there is a negative pole. So this is a dipolar molecule. Okay, but this is a non-polar molecule. It is due to just moment of the sigma bonding electrons towards more electronegative atoms. Okay. Now here coming to this organic molecule, so ethyl fluoride. Here in this case also fluorine more electronegative, its electronegativity 4.0, carbon electronegativity 2.5. So here in this case here the fluorine attracts the bonding electrons towards itself. As a result, electron density increases around the fluorine. So So here that increased electron density is denoted by the minus delta. Now here, as a result, around the carbon electron density decreases slightly, so that is denoted by the plus delta. Now here, this carbon becomes some electron deficient, okay, because this bonding electrons are very close to this one. So now here, this carbon also try to attract the electrons from the adjacent bond, okay. So that's why here, in this case also, this carbon gaining some positive charge. Now here, first suppose here I am increasing the length of the carbon chain. Okay. Now here this carbon becomes also electron deficient. Okay. But here this carbon is not much electron deficient as as this carbon, because this carbon is directly attached to the more electronegative atom. So that the electron withdrawing effect of the chlorine is working maximum on this carbon and a minimum on this carbon, and here very less on this carbon, because here by the effect of the fluorine this carbon also will have to gain the positive charge. That means here that we will have to release the electrons towards more electronegative atom. Okay. So as a result here this bonding electrons moving towards in this direction. So as a result this carbon also gains some positive charge. Of course here this effect is disappear after 3-4 carbon atoms. Okay, that means here with increasing distance, the electron withdrawing nature of the any group is disappearing after 3-4 carbon atoms. That means here we can say here this effect is a distance dependent. That withdrawing nature effect is a distance dependent. So you see in this case these carbons are not polar, but here carbon, here carbon. Here carbon has no charge, here carbon has no charge. But here even these bonds are the carbon-carbon bonds, these carbons gaining positive charge. That means here the molecule gets polarized totally. That effect is known as an inductive effect. Okay. So simply it is defined as the polarization of the molecule by the moment of the sigma bonding electrons towards more electronegative atom is known as the inductive effect. Okay. The polarization of the molecule by the moment of the sigma bonding electrons towards a more electronegative atom is called as an inductive effect. Okay, it is called as an inductive effect. So because of this inductive effect, throughout the carbon chain get polarized, gaining charges. Okay. Now here in this case, this inductive effect is a distance dependent. So here that electron withdrawing, this fluorine is the more electronegative that withdraw electrons. So that electron withdrawing nature is maximum working on the attached carbon, and that withdrawing nature is working less on the second carbon, and here very less on the third carbon. Of course, after 3-4 carbon atoms, this inductive effect, that means withdrawing nature, is negligible. Okay, that's it. So see in this case, this inductive effect is a permanent effect, because here this polarization always we can see in the molecule. It is a permanent effect. Okay, that's it. Now here this working through the only sigma bonds. Okay. Now in this case, see this one. Here inductive effect is of two types. So positive inductive effect and a negative inductive effect. Okay, positive inductive effect and negative inductive effect. So the nature of, okay, see this one, the nature of the group to attract the electrons is called as a negative inductive effect. Okay, so negative inductive effect, simply denoted by the minus I effect, and positive inductive effect. Positive inductive effect, that is plus I effect. Okay. So the nature of the group to attract the electron in a molecule is called as the negative inductive effect, and these groups are called as minus I groups. Okay. The nature of the group to attract the bonding electrons, that means the sigma bonding electrons towards itself, is known as a negative inductive effect, and the groups are called as a minus I groups. So now here these minus I groups are the electron withdrawing groups. These minus I groups are the electron withdrawing groups. Now here, the nature of the group to release the electrons towards more electronegative atom is called as a positive inductive effect, and the group is called as a plus psi group. Okay, that means here the groups are called as the plus psi groups. Groups are called as plus psi groups. Now here plus psi groups release the electrons. That means here electron releasing groups or electron donating groups. Okay, electron releasing groups or electron donating groups. Okay, the nature of the group to attract the electrons is the negative inductive effect, and those groups are the minus psi groups. Now here, the nature of the group to release the electrons, to donate the electrons towards more electronegative atom is known as a positive inductive effect. And the groups are called as a plus psi groups. And the groups are called as plus psi groups. That means in this case, CH3 here, the chlorine more electronegative attract the electrons. So here in this case, the CH3 plus is a plus psi group and Cl is a minus psi group. Okay. First suppose see this one. A CH3, this is a NO2. Okay. So this one attracts the electrons towards itself. Okay. This one working through the only sigma bond. So here NO2 is considered as a minus psi group. This is considered as a plus psi group. Okay. That's it. Now here, which is a plus psi group, which is a minus psi group, that is depends on the electronegative difference. It is a relative actually. You see in this case, for suppose phenyl. This phenyl attached to the CH3. This is a sp3 carbon and this is a sp2 carbon. Now here, you know this one, electronegativity, fluorine greater than oxygen greater than sp carbon is more electronegative than the nitrogen, and next sp2 carbon and then sp3 carbon. Because here electronegativity is directly proportional to percentage of S character. Percentage of the S character. With increasing S character, electronegativity increases. That's why here even this is a carbon, but it is sp hybridized. That is a more electronegative than the nitrogen. This is a very important point. You see in this case here sp3 carbon less electronegative, sp2 carbon more electronegative. So here in this case this is a CH3 release the electrons towards the more electronegative carbon atom. So acting as a plus psi, and this phenyl group acting as a minus psi group. And here whereas see in this case this phenyl and C triple bond CH. Okay. You see in this one here minus psi group, because sp carbon more electronegative than the sp2 carbon. So phenyl group acting as a now in this case plus psi. Okay, because that should release the electrons towards more electronegative atom carbon. So sp carbon here is a minus psi group, phenyl is a plus psi group. But in this case phenyl acting as a minus psi group. So it is a relative action that depends on the electronegativity actually. Okay. Now next. So next here, see this one. Let us discuss some more examples. So here in this case, fluorine attached to the benzene. So fluorine more electronegative. So nitro charge, of course, it is a minus psi group, electron withdrawing group that withdraw sigma electrons towards itself. Now here next, see this one. This is working through the sigma bonds only. Working through the sigma bonds only. Okay. Now next, see this one. This carbon carries a positive charge. The carbon carries a positive charge. So by the inductive effect, here at this carbon more positive charge is created. By the inductive effect, more positive charge is raised. Now here plus delta, distance increases. So it increasing distance here. See in this case very less positive charge. That means here the minus psi effect is maximum working on the attached carbon, and with increasing distance that electron withdrawing nature decreases. Because here there is a moment of the that means it is a moment of the sigma bonding electron. It is directly attached, so the sigma bonding electrons are very close to the forehead. Okay. Now here this carbon becomes electron deficient, so this one can slightly attract these sigma bonding electrons. Now this one carbon becomes electron deficient. This also attracts the sigma electrons from the adjacent atom. Okay. But in this case it is a more electron deficient because it is directly attached to the minus psi group. Okay. That's it. So it is a distance dependent. That is an important point. And next here it is the additive action. I effect is additive. Okay, it means here, first suppose fluorine and here hydrogen, this is a hydrogen, this is a hydrogen. And here fluorine, CH3, here CH3, this one CH3. In this case, the fluorine attracts the electron. Here only one methyl donates the electron. But here in this case, fluorine attracts the electron. Here, these three methyl groups donate the electrons towards this carbon. From this carbon, here the fluorine attracts the more electrons because around the carbon electron density supported by the three methyl groups. That means here the withdrawing nature is enhanced by the donating nature of these three methyl groups. So in this case, in an additive, this tertiary butyl group is a strong plus side group. It is a strong plus side group. Okay, because it is a donating group with the help of the three methyl groups. But here in this case only one methyl group, so it is a weak plus side group. This is a weak plus side group. So that's why here we can say this inductive effect is additive in nature. That means you can see here this one example also. Here fluorine, this fluorine and this is the fluorine. Okay. Next here hydrogen, this fluorine and this is the fluorine. And here hydrogen, this is the hydrogen and the hydrogen. So with increasing number of electrons, its withdrawing nature increases. Withdrawing nature increases. So here CF3 is a strong minus side group because it has 3 fluorine atoms. Attract the more electron density from the adjacent group actually. But in this case only 2 fluorines, here only 1 fluorine. It is a weak minus side group. It is a strong minus side group. So inductive effect is the additive. And next here one more important point, see this one. For suppose here CH3 and O minus and CH3OH. Here in this case oxygen more alkyl OH is a minus side group, CH3 is a plus side group. CH3 is a plus side group. But interestingly, in this case O minus cannot acting as a minus side group because already more electron density. So by attracting electrons it repels each other. So that's why here it releases electrons. But O minus releases the electrons only. Okay, because already there is a more charge, it cannot attract the more electrons. So it is a plus side group, acting as a plus side group. Okay. First suppose here I am taking this, one F fluorine, let us take. Okay, or even chlorine, Okay, so that chlorine attracts the electrons because here O minus that is electron rich. So is ready to release the electrons, so acting as a plus side. Now here, that means in this case, negatively charged groups are the plus side groups. Okay, na? That is important point. Negatively charged groups are plus side groups. Okay, and next, see this one. CH3, here NH2. This nitrogen more alkyl attracts the electron, so it is a minus side group. It is a releasing group, plus side group. Okay, now here I am taking this NH3 plus. That means here around the nitrogen 4 bonds are there. The maximum coverage of the nitrogen is 4, you know that. Now in this case also, this positively charged nitrogen acting as a minus side group. Okay, positively charged means here it is a much electron deficient. So it is ready to attract the electrons effectively. So it is a very strong minus side group. When compared with this NH2 minus side group, your NH3 plus is a very strong minus side group. Okay, that's it. But in this case O minus plus side, OH minus side, working as a minus. Because oxygen more is going to attract the electrons towards itself. Okay, that's it. And next, next strength of plus side groups and strength of minus side groups. That means here plus side groups are the electron releasing groups, minus side groups are the electron withdrawing groups. So here which one is a strong releasing group, means which one is a strong plus side group and which one is a strong minus side group, that means which one is strong electron withdrawing group. Okay, so here just we said that negatively charged groups are the strong donating groups. Okay, that means in this case we can say here CH minus. Okay, CH minus. Okay, CH2 minus is a very strong donating group because electron rich and carbon is a very less electronegative. And next NH minus and then O minus. Okay, these are all the first of all negatively charged and depends on the electronegativity. Carbon less electronegative, so it cannot bear the negative charge. It is ready to push the electrons. Okay, release the electrons. And next here C double bond O. Okay, C double bond O minus. Okay, so this O minus also acting as a plus side group. Okay, release the electrons. But here at the same time this oxygen attract the electrons. Okay, because that is a neutral oxygen. That's why here its the plus side effect is less than the O minus. Okay, this oxygen attracts the electrons towards itself. Okay, so overall resultant effect, resultant donating nature less than the O minus. And next here neutral groups tertiary butyl. Okay, and next isopropyl CH3 twice. Okay, and next ethyl, and then here simply CH3, and then here hydrogen plus I effect 0. It's not plus I, it's not minus I. That is neutral actually. Okay, so this is the plus I effect of the groups CH2 minus, NH minus, O minus. Here tertiary butyl group is a strong plus I group, and next here isopropyl secondary alkyl group, and here ethyl and methyl. And next here very interestingly, see this one, CT3 and CD3 and CH3. A CT3 is a strong plus I group because in this case the carbon has a more electron density. You see this one here T and here T. Here T, here T. Now here the CH bond, CH bonds. The CH bonds are the longer bonds. Okay, this is a shorter bond. This is shorter bond. This is a longer bond. When compared with C, D and CT, CH bond is a longer bond. Now here CT bond is shorter bond. That means here around the carbon there is a more electron density accumulated. So it is ready to release the more electrons. Okay, so ready to release the more electrons. But here is a longer bond. So here bonding electrons are not very close to the carbon. Okay, so around the carbon less electron density. That's why here this CH3 is a weak donating group. Okay, when compared with CT3 and CD3. That's only due to that is a shorter bond. So around the carbon more electron density is accumulated. That's why it is ready to release the more electrons towards the more electron negative atoms. Okay, that's why here CT3 is a strong plus side group. That's it. And next strength of minus I groups. Strength of minus I groups. Similarly here positively charged groups are the very strong minus I groups. You see in this case oxygen OR2 plus. Okay, that means here in this case your bond with one alkyl group, bond with other alkyl group. It is a very strong plus side because oxygen is a more electronegative and additionally it carries a positive charge. Okay, electron deficient. So the positive charge on the more electronegative atom is very less stable. Okay, that's a strong electron with the diagram. And similarly here NR3 plus, NR3 plus. It is also very strong electron with the drawing group. Okay, but here oxygen, nitrogen, oxygen more electronegative. That's why it is strong with the drawing group. NR3 plus. And next CF3. Okay, and next NO2, and next CN, and then SO3H. Okay, and then next aldehyde group. Okay, aldehyde group, and here ketone group, and next ester, and then amide. Okay, and now here in this case fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and next OCH3, and then OH, and here sp carbon is more electronegative than the nitrogen. Okay, next here phenyl group, and then vinyl group. Okay, here sp2 carbon, in phenyl sp2 carbon, but here more number of sp2 carbons, that causes a strong minus I effect. Okay, next NH2, here sp carbon more electronegative. Okay, see in this case OCH3 and OH2. Why OCH3 is a strong electron with the donating group than the OH? If you see here O and carbon, here O and hydrogen. Okay. In this case, 2.1 electronegativity, here 2.5 electronegativity, here 3.5 oxygen, here 3.5 oxygen. So if you observe the electronegativity difference, here see 3.5, 2.1, here more electronegativity difference. Okay, more electronegativity difference. That means here these electrons are very close to the oxygen. But if these bonding electrons are not very close to the oxygen, because here carbon is also some more electronegative. Okay, so here around the oxygen less electron density, around the oxygen less electron density, but around the oxygen here more electron density when compared with this one. So around the oxygen less electron density means here it is ready to attract the electrons. Okay, it is ready to attract the electrons from the adjacent group. That's the OCH is a strong electron withdrawing group. Next here OH is a weak electron withdrawing. Okay, that means a weak minus I group, because around the oxygen more electron density due to more electron difference, hydrogen very less electron negative, but here carbon more electron negative. Okay, that means here that attracting attraction tendency of the oxygen is not supported by the more electronegativity and more electronegativity of the carbon. Okay, so that's it. So around the oxygen less electron density, so it is a strong minus I group. It is ready to attract the some other group. But here around the oxygen here more electron density, so it is a weak electron withdrawing group. Okay, that's it. So this is the strength of the minus effect. So you see in this case here furtherly we can understand, and somewhere we will discuss about this one: aldehyde, ketone, ester, amide. Why these are the weak minus I groups? Okay, that means here this why this type of order is given, that will be explained in a further classes. Okay, so here this is the first of all partially charged groups are the very strong minus I groups. Next here CF3, NO2C, and SO3H, aldehyde group, ketone, ester, amide, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and after that OCH3, OH, sp carbon, okay, NH2, and phenyl and vinyl. Okay, they are the minus I groups. Okay, you should remember these two orders. So let us discuss minus I effect of some other groups. You see in this case already we said that inductive effect is a distance additive in nature. So CF3 and CHF2 and CH2F. So yes, CF3 is a strong minus I effect. Strong minus I group. And next you see this one CF3 and CCl3 and CBI3, CI3. Here CF3 is a strong minus I group. Okay, so because of 3 fluorine atoms, more electronegative. And next here see this one S double bond O, here double bond O, this is the alkyl. Next S double bond O, here alkyl, and SR. Of course here sulfur is more electronegative when compared with the carbon, but here one oxygen is added, that's why it is a strong minus I group. And next here in this case 2 oxygens are added, so it is a very strong electron withdrawing group, minus I group, than the S double bond O. Okay, that's it. And next you can say here in this case NF3 plus is a very strong minus I group, NCH3 thrice plus. Okay, because fluorine is a very more electronegative, and as well that nitrogen carries a positive charge, so it is a very strong minus I group. Okay, so that is about the minus I effect. So simply here let us revise the main points of this inductive effect. Okay, so here inductive effect explain the polarization of the molecule by the moment of the sigma bonding electron. It means the polarization of the molecule by the moment of the sigma bonding electrons towards more electronegative atom is known as the inductive effect. And this inductive effect is a permanent in a molecule, and it is a distance dependent, and it is a additive in nature, and it is of two types, positive inductive effect and a negative inductive effect. The donating nature of group in a molecule towards more electronegative atom is known as the positive inductive effect, and those groups are the plus I groups, and plus I groups are the electron releasing groups or electron donating groups. And next the withdrawing nature of group in a molecule is known as a negative inductive effect, and those groups are the minus I groups, and minus I groups are the electron withdrawing groups. Now here the negatively charged groups are the electron releasing groups, means the plus I groups, and the positively charged groups are the electron withdrawing groups, means the minus I groups. Okay, so generally more electronegative groups are the minus side groups and less electronegative groups are the plus side groups. Okay, so that is about the inductive effect. In next class we will start about the resonance and different types of conjugation. Okay, that's it. Thank you.